But it worked out. We got to play 1-3, 2-3. If you guys like this kind of stuff and want me to play at new places, again, I'm trying to go everywhere. I was telling the people at the tables, like, I want to go as many places as I can. Like, this is why I'm doing this. I want to travel. I want to just go as many places as I can, play with as many people as possible, and just have a good time.
Honestly, when I said that, I had no idea a few weeks later I'd be in New York fucking City. 4th of July weekend, land of the free, home of the brave. My brother is a 4th of July baby, no lie, and this is where he wanted to go. I've been southeast of the country before, like Florida or even Georgia. We played the Bulldogs when I was in college playing ball, but never this far north, so first time being in New York. Watching the largest fireworks show from the Brooklyn Bridge or on top of the world from the World Trade Center was just absolutely insane. Had so many other firsts as well, like taking a taxi or riding the subway. But this isn't a vlog about exploring New York, it's a vlog about poker. And it wasn't a poker trip by any means, but I've heard of talks of the underground poker scene and I wanted to check it out for myself. So I did some research and found a spot literally half-mile away from our hotel. It was a little sketch at first, not gonna lie. Messaged the people on Instagram and all I got was a link. And you can totally tell when you get a message from someone if it's an actual person or if it's just AI. The wording was just too proper, but I was like, whatever. It said to send in my ID to make sure I was real. I guess they wanted to know that. How ironic, right? I'm like, that's what I'm kind of questioning as well. Is this place even real? Because I don't know about you guys. I'm a little skeptic when it comes to opening links online, but I did it anyway. I got the info I needed, what to do, where to go. It said to hit a button on a alley-like road and to go to the 5th floor. I was met at the front by a guy bigger than me to check my bags and pat me down, and voila. I didn't expect to see what I saw when the elevator door opened up. It was actually a normal, clean-looking poker spot. Super small. Well, I guess most rooms in New York are because everything is stacked on top of each other, but it's what you would expect a poker room to look like. They got the snacks, drinks, random slot games, and virtual blackjack, but I wasn't here for the slots or blackjack. Let's play some cards. Their main game here at the Fish Tank NYC was a 1-3 no limit with a $500 max buy-in, so that's what we start with, and the first hand we get involved in is the very first hand we're dealt. You don't really waste too much time when you travel 2,000 miles away from home. It was a new table that started, only 5-handed. Another player was getting their chips from the front, and we don't even get situated with the phone or anything, so I apologize for the freeze frame, but we look down at ace-10 offsuit. We open to $10 in the cutoff and get 3-bet by the button to 45. Like I said, didn't fly this far to fold to the first 3-bet, so we call. The flop comes ace-jack 3 all hearts, flop top pair. We check in flow, obviously, and surprisingly he does too. Can either mean the nuts, nothing, or honestly anything in between. The turn comes off the 10 of clubs, great card for us. We now have 2 pair. Now we're beating hands like ace king, ace queen. We can either check again and possibly check raise if he bets, but I don't really want to take that risk and a bad card coming on the river, so we lead out ourselves $40. He does make the call, so wanting the most blankest of blank rivers, but it doesn't happen. It's a queen of spades. Now just in no man's land. I think we should have thrown out a blocker size bet, like 50 or 60, and then comfortably let it go if we face a raise, but we check, see what he wants to do, hoping he does the same. But sadly he doesn't. He throws out $125. Honestly, that's just a bad run out for us. I'm not trying to put on our hero cape just yet, so we just let it go. Ultimately, all we have was a bluff catcher. Since we weren't the ones raking in chips, we had time to get out our stand, our dumbbell card protector, and hit the record button. Just in time too, because the very next hand dealt in, we looked down at pocket twos. We're first to act under the gun, or low jack, depending on how you want to look at it. We open to $10, and I've said many times, even in low stakes, the standard is 15 to open to, inflation and whatnot, but we were 5-handed to start, and we made it $10. Now, even though we're 6-handed, I want to keep it consistent, so that's the reason why I made it a bit smaller. The guy to our left calls, and we again get 3-bet, this time by the big blind. Dang, are these players just trying to bully the new guy? Collusion. Nah, just kidding. The big blind makes it $35 to go. We call, looking to set mine. The guy to our left looks back at his cards and lets it go. At least we're in position this time. In another 3-bet pot, heads up. And the flop comes King Jack 9 rainbow. I guess when you have the ducks and don't hit a set, you're gonna see overs, but the connection of those overs look pretty bad on this board. I would have rather seen a flop like Queen 7-3 rainbow. Still overs, but you guys get what I mean, it's different. He's first to act, and he does throw out a c-bet, $20. I don't know what was going through my head, because I tossed in 4 red chips for a call. I was thinking most players c-bet just far too often, and maybe if he has a single pair holding, we can bluff him off on later streets. Or just bink a 2 on the turn and bet for value, but we call, gotta give action to get action, and the turn comes the 9 of diamonds pairing the board. Soon enough, we're just gonna be playing the board, but he slows down this time and checks, and perhaps giving us our chance to steal it. He has around $155 total in a stack, so planning on a size where we can set up a river jam where we still have some fold equity. We double his flop bet and make it $40. I thought it was $45, but 40 is what we threw out. He doesn't take too long at all to make the call, so with $200 in the middle, and with him having a little over half that left in his stack, there's really only one thing left to do. But instead of going all in as a bluff, we get to bet for value because the river is a miracle 2 of clubs. Let's freaking go. A full house out of nowhere, just how we planned it. He checks on over to us again, and a lot of draws bricked, so hopefully he can find a call with whatever he has, thinking we missed. We announce all in, but sadly he immediately snap folds. Boo. I think any low card would have done the trick, like a black 3 through 8 for example. It might have been cooler to get a bluff through, but either way we get our money back from hand number 1. This next hand we're going to go over, a few players join, so a full 8-handed game now. We look down at ace queen offsuit in the hijack, it folds around to us, and now since there's more players, we go back to the standard open, $15. The guy to our direct left calls 15, the button folds, the small blind calls, and big blind gets out of the way, so go 3 ways to a flop, and the flop comes 10-8-8 rainbow. Missing the flop again, not even a backdoor flush draw. I suppose if we had aces, kings, or queens, we'd be okay with it, but only thing we got going for us is the betting lead. The small blind checks and flow, and we throw out a c-bet, $15. The cutoff makes the call, and the small blind gets out of the way, so heads up. Can we hit one of our pairs, please? Nope, the turn is a 2 of spades. I'm kind of over fighting for this one. I know it wasn't much of a fight, but we check. Luckily, he checks back as well. The river isn't any better, it's a 3 of hearts. We check again. I'm not putting any more money in the middle. Our opponent doesn't want to check. He bets out $25.
Good. Hand?
Ouch.
Hand?
High hand. High hand.
Yeah.
Quad yesterday too, right?
Wow, flopped quads. Makes sense. Glad we didn't catch one of our pairs like we were asking. Sometimes not catching is a blessing. We haven't really picked up anything the last half hour. This hand is no different. We look down at 6-9 offsuit in the cutoff. It folds around to us though. I'm tired of waiting. I want to play. So we open to $15. We only have to get through the button to be in position, but that plan fails because he calls. The blinds get out of the way. I still like our chances heads up. The flop comes Queen 7-5 rainbow. We have a gutter, but other than that, nothing. We check. Can't always c-bet every flop, and glad to see he checks back, so he probably missed as well. Off to a free turn, and it comes the ace of spades. Bingo, a card that we can represent. Much better for us than him, so we do represent it and throw out a delayed c-bet of $15. Maybe he picked up a flush draw or something because he makes a call. We're gonna need some help, or a blank to barrel on. The river brings us no help, however, but an okay card for us. It pairs the board. Draws missed, and as long as he doesn't have an ace, we should be all right. With $60 in the middle, I think a full pot-sized bet can get it done, perhaps even smaller, but smaller, we don't want a random queen or middling pair like 10s or 8s to call, so we make it pot. And I guess we have a tell because he snap calls. He shows ace-9 offsuit. I told you if he didn't have an ace, we're good, but he had one. It's unfortunate, but that's what I get for playing 6-9 offsuit in the first place. Shame on me. With that hand, we get pretty crippled, so we add on $300 topping off. Now in the game for $800 total. Let's get it back. With our new set of chips, let's put them into some use. There's a few limpers in front of us when we look down at ace-9 offsuit. We're in late position again. We don't like limpers. Dead money, free money, basically broadcasting to the table, I do not have a decently strong enough hand to raise. Take my money, please. So we do the raising and make it $25 to go. Also, I forgot to mention, here at FishTankNYC, they have the Rock. Some of you probably asking, what's that? Don't worry, you're not alone. I was in the same boat. Apparently, the Rock game is, if someone has it, it's an additional $5 straddle. I think either under the gun or on the button. In this case, it's on the button this hand. It's a mandatory at least $5 straddle, or the person with the Rock can put another $5 on top, making it 10. During the session, I was like, how does someone get it, or where does it start? They were like, if you win the hand with the Rock in it, then you get it, and then you put on the straddle when it's your turn on the button, or if you're under the gun. I'm like, I understand that part, but we've been playing for almost 2 hours. Where did it come from? Did it just appear out of nowhere like magic? Maybe I just wasn't paying attention and have never played the Rock game before, so wasn't aware of it. And I didn't want to ask too many questions looking dumb, but we're going with it. So in this hand, we're fighting for the Rock. Hopefully you stayed with me on that. We make it $25 like I said. It falls to the first limper. He's the only caller, so we're heads up. And to be honest, I don't even remember the flop, but we turn a 9. We both just check it all the way down, and we win. See, it just kind of looks like a dealer button, but it's a big $5 chip. So yay us, we win the hand and the Rock. We played the Rock when it got around to us, but didn't win that hand, so that was lame. But the next hand we're going to talk about, we're on the button. There's a middle position limp for $3. It folds to us, and we have another ace, ace-10 offsuit. We raise it up to $15. The big blind calls and the limper calls as well. So going 3 ways to a flop, and it comes jack 9-6 with 2 clubs. We have backdoor potentials. The big blind checks. The middle position player, however, does not check and flow. He leads for $10. I think if I had a little more like a gutter with a backdoor flush draw, I'd raise and put on the pressure, but $10 is a good price for now. The big blind gets out of the way, so now our heads up. The turn gives us our backdoor flush opportunity. It's the 7 of clubs. He doesn't take long at all again and continues. He only raises the amount by $5 though, which was again odd to me. And this is where I make a mistake. The just calling on the flop, yeah, sure, I'm okay with, but a raise here was definitely in order. Because having the ace of clubs in our hand, we want to be putting on that pressure, but we just call again for some reason. I could not tell you why. Could have been all the smoke from the fireworks the night before, not thinking straight perhaps. But here we go, off to a river. And you can see he has 2 $5 chips in his hand. He tosses them in the middle before the river even comes out. To me, that indicates he has a mediocre hand at best and taking it as a check. But when the river comes, another club giving us the absolute nuts, we can now raise for value. I think even if it was a blank and we missed, a raise can get him off whatever BS hand he's trying to do this with. So the blind bet is $10, which like I said, isn't gonna be enough. We bump things up to 60. He doesn't snap fold to my surprise. He picks up his cards like he's gonna give them up. And after looking at them again, he eventually does. So we played it bad, but we caught to bail us out. Speaking of playing bad, you have every right to roast me in the comments. I know I deserve it. We look down at what seems like the 5th time we have ace-queen offsuit. We're in the big blind this time. The under the gun straddle is on for $6. There's an open from first to act, the under the gun 1, and a 3-bet from the button to 80. And the first mistake we make, this is either a 4-bet or fold situation. Don't want to play 3 ways out of position against 2 opponents in a bloated pot. Or what could happen is we get jammed on from the initial raiser. That would be bad as well, which does happen. The straddler folds, but the other gun 1 rips his whole stack in for over $400. Action's now on the button, and he has a similar chip stack, give or take around $300. He thinks about it, and not for very long, he eventually puts in the call. Now I'm kind of like, well, I'm already down this shithole. We're about to get even or even worse. Because we put the money in. I'm not sure how bad a shape we're actually in. Hopefully we're just up against 10s and jacks, 2 underpairs. But I'll let the madness play out for you all.
I said if he folds, I was going to call you regardless, but he has less. No, I don't have aces. Yeah, no way. I have an ace, yeah.
Alright, go into the river.
Just one.
No one shows till the river. A jack hit, so now we're losing to one of those hands we're hoping to be up against. My eyes are on the buttons hand. When he shows the jack of clubs, I'm like, come on, queen. It's a small card, and at first I'm like, we just donated, but realized we have a will. We backdoored runner straight.
You have a set?
What? No, I'm not in anybody's face.
Oh.
No.
I thought you was recording.
Yeah, I am recording. I'm not doing anybody's face.
Wow, I cannot believe it. We didn't even chop with a hand like ace king. Must have been up against kings and the button queen jack suited. I really don't know. Because if he would have had top set on the flop, he would have just flipped his hand over right away. The button took it pretty well, but the under the gun one was like, ace queen off. Wow, $400 with ace queen off. I'm like, yeah, bro, tell me about it, a fish. But hey, we're here at the Fish Tank NYC, so it might have rubbed off. The last hand we're going to go over, we can just talk about briefly. There's not much to it. We kind of get lucky, then unlucky. We limp at the end of the gun one. There's 2 other limpers. The big blind raises it up to $20. We all call, go 4 ways to a flop, and it comes 9 high. We all check around. The turn gives us our set. It's a 7. And I was going to spring into action, but the end of the gun takes over and bets out $60. And this player was on the tighter side, so wasn't sure. That comboed with maybe trying to get sneaky. We just call the 60. The button also calls, so now we're 3 ways. And it just gets bad, really bad. The river is a 6 of hearts. So now any 5 or 10 is a straight, and also the hearts get there. Thinking this would slow down the action, it doesn't. The under the gun bets out $300. A super big bet in relation to the size of the pot, so we just fold. That was the last interesting hand that went down. We decided to end the session shortly after, headed back to shower and get ready. Got ready to go to, I think, one of the highest, if not the highest clubs ever, called The Edge. The view up here was absolutely insane, and I'm not really a partier, a guy that goes out, but it wasn't my birthday. I'm glad I went. I mean, hell, we're in New York City. And part of the dance floor was glass too, which was a little freaky. Woo, got a little weak in the knees looking down, not gonna lie. I mean, I've seen Final Destination and you never know, but we made it. Had a blast and hope you guys did too. We go back to the same spot for another session the very next day, so be on the lookout for that one. I'll get that one out as soon as possible, I promise. But as always, I appreciate you guys' support. Like the video if you in fact liked it. A big thumbs up, it really helps the channel grow and will allow me to travel to even more places to play. So leave your city/poker spot down below in the comments, and never know, I might see you on the felt sometime soon. But remember, it's a blessed day, you're alive, you saw this. I'm Matty Ice, this is Gaines Poker, peace out.